Hey, it's your girl Yoyo from the Yoyo Diet Show, and welcome back to my channel. The word diet in the Yoyo Diet Show is not food you eat, but food for thought so that you can stay in control. Welcome to this week's segment of Listen in the Kitchen with Yo-Yo. Listen in the Kitchen with Yo-Yo. Listen in the Kitchen with Yo-Yo. Today's topic, intuition. Why don't you listen to it? So here it was, a regular day in the life of Yolanda. Yep, Yolanda, that's my name. Yo-Yo for short. Miss Yo-Yo, if you're crazy. And my kids were doing what they always do, tearing up the house. Toys everywhere. They get up at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, I fix them breakfast, and here comes the toys. Here it is, as time progressed, it's noon. It's time for them to eat their lunch. So, I fix them their lunch. Usually at noontime, most parents may put their children down for a nap. I never put my children down for a nap because I worked at nights, and I needed them to be in bed by 8 o'clock when the babysitter came. So, it's around 1, 2 o'clock. I noticed my little one, I had 2 kids. One was 3, one was 8. They were 5 years apart. My little one, she climbs up on the couch and goes to sleep. So what did I do? Did I A, let her go to sleep because clearly she needed some rest? Did I B, holler at her and say, hey, get up! You can't go to sleep now. You're not going to sleep until 8 o'clock. Or did I C, walk over and feel her forehead to see if she was warm or maybe ill? This week's segment is inspired by the book called Listen to Your Life by Valerie Burton. Needless to say, I chose option C. I walked over to see if she was warm. She had a very unusually high temperature. She was very hot. It wasn't the flu. I didn't see any signs of maybe her nose running or anything like that. She just needed to lay down, and she had a very high temperature. So what could it be? I knew what it was. It was the chicken pox. It could be the chicken pox. At that time, my son had a deathly compromising immune system. Chicken pox would kill him if he was to contract it. So without delay, I got them both ready and I took them to Children's Hospital. Now, my daughter, she was going to be okay, but the danger was my son. He was 8 years old, and if he had contracted chickenpox, he would have died. His immune system would not have been able to carry him through. So I begged the doctors to not wait to see if she had chickenpox, to just give him 2 EpiPens. But these were special EpiPens. These EpiPens stopped the progression of certain childhood diseases like chickenpox, smallpox, measles. And so there were long needles that would have to go simultaneously into his leg. And unfortunately, he screamed like I don't know what. I was screaming, I was crying. But I told him that in order to save his life, he had to endure that pain. And he did. And it saved his life. Because a few hours later, my daughter started showing signs of the chickenpox. Even though my son died at 13, I was able to save his life for 5 more years with quick thinking. But you might ask, well, what made you go over there and touch her forehead, Yolanda? Well, intuition. Intuition, people, they don't really know what it is. They think intuition is psychic ability. Some people think it's a sixth sense. It's a gut feeling. Some people think it's something in your spirit that comes out like Star Wars, you know, may the force be with you. But you know what? Intuition is none of those things. All intuition is a storehouse of knowledge that you have stored in the years of your life that comes out haphazardly without remembering and without reasoning. Intuition is a kind of leap without really knowing what the problem is, but knowing exactly what the solution is, without thinking. It's like having a hunch, a gut feeling that this will work. Psychologist Weston Hagen from the University of Texas in El Paso did a study of women and men and intuition. In his studies, he found that women were more intuitive than men. So why do we, that's right, I said we, men and women, ignore our intuition when it comes to platonic relationships or love interest? Why? When we have a gut feeling that something is wrong with said dude or said woman. Real Talks 67, in his latest video, he talked about red flags, things that you see that could potentially be wrong with the person that you're interested in, whether it's a friend or whether it's a love interest. I have his link in the description box. Go and check him out. So here he comes. Mr. Suave. He looks good. He smells good. Hair precisioned. You look down at his shoes. Beautiful. He's buffed those shoes up. They have a nice shine to them. You look at his teeth, straight. I don't know what kind of cologne that is he's wearing. He walks up to you and he says, "You need to let me take you out." Okay, there she is. A black stallion. Graceful. Has on a beautiful move something dress, just flowing. And then as she walks, you smell her perfume coming your way. Her hair flows so eloquently. As she looks at you, she winks. So what does the woman do? He says, "I'd like to take you out." And the woman says, "I'm good." And then, what does the man say when the woman winks at him? He looks at her, then turns around as if he didn't see nothing. Why would they have reacted that way, seeing that all of the bells and whistles were checked off? Because of some prior experience that let them know that everything that glitters is not gold. In closing, love bugs, try to rely not on instinct, like flying by the seat of your pants, but try to rely on logic, reasoning, and knowledge. There was a guy that I dated. Things went awry. After about a year or so, I was ready for him to leave out of my life. I needed an exit plan. I didn't want it to go badly. I didn't want any arguing and people trying to come into your house and, breaking up things because you're angry. So I needed to find something out that I had a hunch, I had a gut feeling that he was seeing someone else. Or other people knowing him, because he can't stay in a relationship. Anyway, so I looked at the phone, which is a no-no. I never look into another person's phone because I just never do. But there was something telling me everything I needed was in that phone. Even though I was trying to talk myself out of it, I could not. It kept telling me, look in the phone. Now, mind you, I did pray on this. Now, I'm not saying God told me to look in the man's phone. All I'm saying is that something told me everything I needed was in the phone. I got the phone, y'all. I did get the phone. And it was in there. Every single text, everything I needed was in that phone. So what did I do? What would you have done? In the comments below, let me know if you would have took the phone after you saw that he was soliciting relations with other women. Would you have took the phone and bust him upside the head while he was sleeping? Because he was asleep when I got that phone. Would you have just started yelling, "I can't believe you over here and I'm over here trying to take care of this and that, and you out here"? Would you have done all of that? I didn't do that. I devised a plan because I just want the man out of my life. So what did I do? I'll tell you what I did. I let the man sleep. It was a Wednesday night, and I knew I needed him out. I didn't care to argue with him. I didn't care what he said to me. wanted him out because I was ready to be with my now husband. I was in between relationships, and me and my now husband had broke up for reasons undisclosed. I'm not gonna tell y'all everything, but we had broke up, and I didn't have anything but time. So let me tell you what I did. I memorized 3 of his text messages. I took off work early Friday. I made sure that my daughter and her boyfriend was playing Nintendo in the living room. So when he came, he wouldn't try to get all rowdy, you know. So what I started doing at about 2 o'clock, after I made sure I got all his clothes and put it all in, you know, the garbage bags or whatever it is that he came in. And so then it started. I began to text the man all of the texts that I remembered in my brain that he was texting the other women. I started texting him. I started texting and texting. And he's sending text back, LOL, LOL, LOL. Then all of a sudden, I think he realized, wait a minute. She's texting me the stuff that I've been saying to these women. So now the phone calls are happening. He's a calling and I'm ignoring, and he's a calling and I'm declining, and he's a calling and I'm ignoring. Until I'm finished texting everything. I just kept texting him back and forth. Just So finally, after I was done texting, I answered the phone. He's laughing. I said, what's funny? Oh, those weren't my texts. Those were my friend's texts. Something was wrong with his phone and I allowed him to use my phone. I said, you don't think I called those girls to find out what the truth was? Now, mind you, I didn't call them girls, but I just wanted that man out of my life. That was the quickest thinking that I think I've ever had. That was intuition right there. Now that was... So he says, okay, I'm coming home. Do you think I told him that I had his stuff all packed up? I didn't want him to even think about coming over here trying to talk to me. No, I didn't say anything. I just said, okay. Because all I knew is I wanted my key back. Yeah. So I said, oh, okay. Yeah, come on home. And as he walked in the door, he saw my daughter and her boyfriend sitting there playing Nintendo. Yeah, back in the day when Nintendo was what it was. So now he knows he can't get all rowdy and start lying or whatever he was going to do. So he comes forth and say whatever it was that he wanted to say. But I'm not really listening to him. Like the teacher, you know, the one on Charlie Brown. Womp, 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 womp. I really wasn't listening to him. I didn't care what he said. I just wanted him to get his stuff and get out. And that's what he did. But when he walked in, I says, hi, can I have my key? He said, what? I said, yeah, I would like my key now. So he gives me the key. He said, well, you know, let me talk to you about it. I'm like, you can give me my key and we can talk about it. And he looked around. He saw that his stuff was all laid out nice and neat on the bed in a garbage bag. I had a garbage bag of pants. You know, I tried to be as nice as I could. What would you have done? Would you have hauled off, try to kill the man? Ladies and gentlemen, whatever you do, make sure you have an action plan, an exit plan, a plan of action. Whatever it is, do not fly by the seat of your pants. Do not instinctively do anything, because you can hurt yourself for the rest of your life. Whatever you do without thinking could be detrimental to the rest of your life. As Valerie Burton so eloquently said in her book, one of her quotes is this: in your spirit, you know the truth. By listening to your life, that is the name of the book, you will discover powerful strategies and tools that will enable you to hear what your life is saying. Take action. Define your success, which is tailored to your unique abilities and your unique talents. I upload videos on Thursday and Sunday. Thursdays is Listen in the Kitchen with Yo-Yo, and Sundays is how to promote your YouTube channel so that you can have the perfect one. This was Listen in the Kitchen with Yo-Yo. Listen in the Kitchen with Yo-Yo. Listen in the Kitchen with Yo-Yo. Goodbye, lovelies.